Hello, everyone. Okay, we're going to discuss a case out of Tennessee. This was already sent to trial. It's already done. It's already over with. But this actual sentencing actually come up because the execution of this person is actually set to be carried out in September of this year. And if it goes through, it will be the first case for a female execution in over 200 years in Tennessee. Now, her trial, from what I understand, was a very hard trial to listen to, be a part of. And at the time, I don't think she really had any remorse other than that she got caught. Now, she bragged about what she had done to other people after this had been done. And that is one way that she actually actually got caught doing this stuff. Now, the woman that we're talking about is Krista Gale Pike. She is scheduled to be executed September 30th of 2026. And Pike was accused and charged with the murder of a girl named Colleen Slimmer, who was 19 years old at the time. Now, Pike and two other suspects ended up luring Colleen into the woods where Pike stabbed her in the neck 3 or 6 times and brutally beat her, and then carved a crucifixion star in her chest. Now, this all happened because Pike was dating a male who they all went to school together, and they were in this career center thing. And she lured her boyfriend into being a part of it along with another friend of hers. Now, Pike said that she was almost certain that at the time that Colleen to steal her boyfriend at the time, and she wasn't going to have it, and she had to teach her a lesson basically. She said she was completely aware of what she was doing. She knew what she was going to do. She already had all of this pretty much pre-planned, and she had basically set her up to be murdered that night. And she's the one that carried out basically mainly most of the actual I guess punishment is what she was basically calling it. Now, Pike had had Colleen lured to the woods, and the following day, the groundskeeper found her body, found Colleen Summer's body, and the teen had been beaten, stabbed, and bludgeoned. And they used a meat cleaver, she said, in order to beat her with it as well. So this is something that was not only brutal, but can you imagine the pain that this young girl went through during such a tragic time? And all she was trying to do was be friends, I guess, with these people. Now, after she had carried out this horrible, horrible death and murder of this young girl, she took a piece of a skull and she wrapped it in a paper towel and proceeded to show other students at this career center place. And this was horrible. Now, I don't understand how you could be so blatantly carefree about murdering somebody else. Now, that very small Now, this is a very small number of executions that has been done out in this prison. And if it actually happens, she'll be the first woman to be executed since 1976. And so it is a very rare thing. Now, Pike said that it took her years to understand the severe, like how severe of what she did to this victim was. And it was her 18-year-old brain that had her do this. And she now feels remorse. And she is 46 now. And that she hates it. And she's filed multiple, like, to try to get off a death row, to try to get at least life in prison, whatever. But of course, everything so far has failed. Now, this took a very long time that she actually attacked her. It took over 12 hours for her to do this to this girl. So this girl was being beaten for 12 hours long. And this was before she took a box cutter and stabbed her in the neck 6 times. And then, of course, she carved a pentagram, they said, on her forehead, her chest. She was carving things into her body. She said that Colleen was begging her to stop, that telling her that it was hurting, and that for a long period of time, she was like making gargling sounds, but she didn't know what she was saying. I mean, this went for a very long time. Now, she actually also took a piece of asphalt and slammed it into the victim's head. And she did this multiple times, of course, cracking her skull. So she had practically no remorse. Now, the other 2 actually did get charged as well, but Treadell Shipp, I guess is how, he was convicted of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison with an eligibility of parole. So even though he was a part of it, he still gets a chance to get out. And her friend that testified against Pike was sentenced to probation. Now, she didn't get much time, I guess, because she didn't actually... She helped her lure her, but she didn't, I guess, to reduce her charges and her sentencing. She went against everything that was going on. Now, if she says to think back that it was the worst mistake that she had ever made in her entire life, and she really wished that she wouldn't have done it, but it's something that... Anyway, and she said that at the time, like I was saying earlier, she was saying that she had an 18-year-old mind, and she didn't really understand the severity of what she was going through and what she had done. And I still don't say, I say, you know what, I don't believe that. If she had planned it this well to where she literally had certain objects, or, you know, and then her knowing the pain and the things that she was causing out for, you know, this person, she didn't care. And I think she's right where she belongs. Now, she has been in solitary confinement for 27 years. And she has been the only woman on death row. And she takes religious classes, and she's been trying to better herself. And, you know, she said that she deserves life in prison without the possibility of parole instead of the death penalty. And they're trying to blame, of course, some of her actions on how she grew up and how she was physically and essayed, and they're trying to use all this kind of stuff for reasons of why she went ballistic and lost her mind and basically did this to this young girl. And to that, I just say, I have PTSD, I have bipolar, but I'm not out there, murdering people that irritate me or make me mad. Now, Slimmer's mother, May, she also said she's steadfast and supports the death penalty for Pike, and that she just wants her to have it end, and so that way she can be done and over it. And there's not a day that she don't think about her daughter Colleen or how she died and how rough it was for her. And she said that, there's not ever really going to be full peace throughout this, until the day that she dies, because that was her baby. And this girl and her friends, all over jealousy and this love triangle. So I just wonder how bad it actually got, and I wonder if this execution will actually happen.